Hey, Mark here. I have two announcements for you. First, while recording this episode, we had some technical difficulties. However, Nicholas Rehack is the guest on this episode, and he is wonderful, and Manhunter is wonderful, and I think this is just a really good, actually, a wonderful conversation. So there are some issues with the audio. I tried to get the levels the best I can, but just know that the audio is not totally perfect, but the conversation is. Also, I have a really fun giveaway. So Welgo USA and I have teamed up to do a giveaway for Fist of the Condor and the Tank. I have Blu-rays of each, and if you're interested in Fist of the Condor, is probably one of my favorite 2023 films so far. It's really awesome. Marco Zerrar is legit in it. Also, the Tank is just a fun, low-budget creature feature that I really enjoy. I think there's a lot to like about it. I just like creature features. That's my favorite genre. So I have two really cool Blu-rays for a giveaway. So if you're interested, shoot me a message and be like, hey, Mark, I would like to be part of the giveaway. All right, thanks. Well, enjoy the episode. Manhunter is wonderful. Michael Mann is legit. This is a great movie. Also, Fist of the Condor is awesome. You're going to want to watch it. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man that has a Lear jet always waiting for him. It's Nick Rehack.
It is always waiting. And the problem is with the idling and the gas prices the way they are, not great.
You're paying $8,000 a day for the pilot, the plane, the gas, the permits, the cleaning, the oil, the maintenance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The nice thing, though, is I'm only 8 minutes from the airport where it's at. So, yeah, it's not bad.
So if you want to go to a Grateful Dead concert, if you want to do any of that, you're just ready to go.
Ready to go. I could say, hey, it's time to go to Boulder. They're doing a 3-night run, Soldier Field. Off we go.
Whenever I think of Boulder, I think of that Chainsmokers song, like my roommate back in Boulder. Sure. I think they stole a mattress from him, the person.
Potentially. That's got to be a really... Like, if someone broke into my house and they stole my mattress, I think I'd be very upset about that. Like a TV or something, I would be understanding because I'm like, okay, you're trying to make a quick grab and sell it. But like a mattress, you're not selling somebody else's mattress.
Yeah, that's just an act of spite there.
It really is.
You could go to Costco and get a decent TV backup, no problem, pretty cheap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But a mattress that you fit into and you form, and they steal it. I would steal someone's coffee maker, blender, and mattress.
Wow.
I think stealing someone's coffee maker is probably the most evil thing. If I walk down in the morning to make some coffee, I mean, they took my coffee maker, they took my Nespresso, they took all my mugs, and I have no means of physically making coffee. I'd be like, good on you, because that's a malicious, dollar high.
They got it all though. At least they got it all.
Yeah. Did they even? They took They even took the Nespresso capsules and the recyclable ones. Like, what's going on here? What? Dollar Hide scouts out my house for a month to take my coffee.
Caramel macchiato. Do you see?
Will Graham goes to the back to investigate, and there's just like a couple coffee mugs and a couple Starbucks cups and a Caribou coffee and maybe a Pete's.
A Pete's.
The coffee bandit strikes again.
Oh, he did it.
I need to get in the mindset.
Wakes up to just busted creamer packets, like photos, and the girl on the seat next to him's freaking out. Mommy, no! She'll put those creamer packets away.
Freddie Lowndes publishes an article that's just kind of like, he loves tea. The coffee bandit loves tea. Chamomile. And the guy's like, no!
From Maxwell to Earl Grey.
Instead of like the wheelchair burn, he just puts a hot coffee pot on his lap and rolls him down.
Screaming the whole time.
Hot coffee. He's never
It's not decaf.
Yeah. He's never technically killed anybody, but his coffee shenanigans have led to a lot of trouble for people.
Really inconvenienced people on a large scale.
The chief of police didn't sleep for 3 weeks.
No, he couldn't because his bed was gone.
He takes coffee and he pours it on your bed. What?
And then he takes the bed.
You come home and there's like an empty can of Maxwell House lying by your front door.
What's
Wait.
happened here? Oh no! And they just run upstairs, drop to their knees. No!
Oh man, just Will Graham sits there. We watch his face while we watch him watch Dollarhide just drink coffee. I'm gonna get you, Dollarhide. Just you and me. You're sly, but so am I.
You took the sheets off, didn't you? You sick.
It's just you and me now. You better bring back that Bolivian coffee now.
Where's that Ethiopian pour over? Nah, 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 nah.
He attacks on the full moon. Because he's a werewolf? No, because that's when the most light is out. Wait.
You ever see coffee in the moonlight, Will? It appears quite black. Yeah, isn't all coffee black?
Yeah, but during the full moon.
It's even blacker.
Why am I wasting my talents on this? Because no one can catch him. He's been doing this for 30 years.
Ooh.
The best part of waking up is when Folgers actually is in your cup and it's not stolen.
And I have a cup to actually hold it in.
We found one of the storage units. That's the closest we've come. 3,000 coffee mugs.
There's a detective smoking a cigarette. Oh my god.
Some guys in the background go, I'll give you 2,000 for it.
Meanwhile, someone else, I'm going to be sick. Just like vomiting.
You sure seen the rookie after he saw those coffee mugs.
Yo, clean it up, Rook.
Yeah. There's a lot of porcelain in there. Better get busy.
Cigarette butt at him. Get out of my face. Rook.
And if you see a mug that says world's best dad, snag it for me.
I'm pretty sure it's mine.
Yeah. My kid got it for me. I'll never get that coffee back. World's best dad. More like world's best dad who lets people steal his coffee.
Yeah, hands are just shaking.
Well, you could buy more. Huh?
What? What did you say to me? Get him out of here.
Oh, man, just Dennehy is the chief who's just yelling.
I want your gun and your ceramic mug on my desk. Now.
Better not be beans in your pocket.
Hey, man, I know you're using them again. I'm not, man. I'm not.
Have you heard of the chocolate-covered beans? Whoa. I just got to say, man, I'm so happy you recommended this because this is the fourth Michael Mann film I've covered on the podcast. I've done Heat, I've Collateral, and oh my goodness, I can't even think of the other one. But yeah, now Manhunter. And then, like, I just love Michael Mann so much. I just think that his movies are gorgeous to look at. Absolutely gorgeous to look at. And it's just this film with its wide shots and the amount of think pieces out there about the composition, about the colors, about the blue, about the red, about, the angel wings, the wide shots, just that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful framing of this film. And just the performances too. I mean, this is an absolutely beautiful film in regards to performances. I mean, Will Graham, Michael Mann was putting William Peterson through 40 takes to get him where he wants him.
Really?
Yeah, like he David Finchered him before David Fincher. Yeah, or Stanley Kubricked him. But yeah, it's just the amount of takes that he put Peterson through and just the weight on this guy's shoulders. I mean, this is one of the first films where you just see the weight of what this job does on this man. And he's still a good man. Mm-hmm. He's not that super angry dude who, he's just burnt out. He got hurt. He's mentally tore up. He loves his family, but he's also hugely conflicted because, there's Hannibal Lecter out there. There's Francis Dollarhide. There's Frank the Devil Killer Jackson out there murdering people. I mean, it's he knows what's right. He goes out there, his wife knows what's right. Molly knows what's right. And it's just, as I said about Tenet when I was talking about that movie, this is a movie about very capable people, very stressed out, capable people that Michael Mann loves. I mean, if you think about it, with Michael Mann's films, you have Last of the Mohicans, wildly capable warriors. You have Collateral, a great cab driver and an excellent hitman. You just have I don't know. I just love watching his movies because it just seems like he loves to focus on people who are just good at what they do, doing it. And I adore that about his films. So yeah, thank you for recommending this. This is lovely.
Absolutely, man. I don't even remember how I came across it, but I came across it. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll sit down and watch this. I did, and I was just immediately blown away. And it's the visuals that are so striking. Like you
Yeah.
said, the blue, like the way the bedroom is just bathed in blue. Hannibal Lecter's cell being a immaculate, just pristine white. The like you said, the faraway shots, the wide shots. There's so much gorgeous, like the setting sun, actually the rising sun. Uh, just the way things are framed. Like it's such a beautiful, and it's weird to talk about a thriller and crime film like this with these terms of how like it's beautiful, it's lush, and it's just you want to be there. Like I want to be helping him with the boat motor on a little seaside town. Like that's where I want to be. I want to hang out not for long, but in that jail cell, in that facility where everything is just this pristine white. Like it's just so it's immaculate almost. Like it's you want to live in that world.
And I love that just the pervasiveness of light and white that lead to the red becoming so effective when it is used. Like this is a movie that everything is thought out. You know, Michael Mann, this guy is a maniac for research. You know, I think he made Jada Pinkett Smith live with the family for 3 years just to research her role. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's
say that's
like she had to spend time with people that he thought would be her parents. Like this guy has dossier upon dossier, and he controls this. And you know what's kind of crazy is you look at these beautiful wide shots, such as when Peterson is talking to Jack, when Jack is talking to Will on the beach, just the driftwood, the shot, and you're thinking to yourself, why don't more movies do this more often? Because there are shots in this film, man, that drop your jaw. There's a Vimeo supercut that I sent your way, and I showed Megan, my wife, and she goes, these are beautiful, and they're not pretentious. They're not. No. They're organic to the story.
Yeah, that's the perfect word for that, organic.
And they don't feel inorganic. Sometimes you watch a movie and you're like, hey, let's get stylish. And I don't know why they use that voice, but that's the voice of the person I hear. Yeah. And just you wonder why more movies don't do that very often. You know, I was watching a really great. It was over 30 minutes long, and it was Dante Spinotti talking about the movie, and he was using stuff about. He was saying that like these things are like strongly made, so much detail. This is filmmaking, amount of research, and he also used the word total concentration. And like these guys fatigue themselves. It's watching a guy, framing these shots it could not have been easy. Finding the exact perfect frame, the spot on the beach, the shot, finding the positioning in the hotel when he's leaning back after a long night of research, like the framing of Will watching the TV while the murders of the family. It's just the amount of work that they put into these shots is I would love to be on set and just be miserable watching him set up these shots, because you think it's easy, right? You think this is, but it's not. No. So this is a guy who he's firing on all cylinders. And to this movie, man, when I think about Silence of the Lambs, when I think about Hannibal, I think about brain eating. I think about Hannibal Lecter slashing people. I think about just like the raw performance of Anthony Hopkins and the fava beans and Buffalo Bill dancing. And, there's a lot of actual violence in that movie. In this one, you don't see the violence very much, but it weighs on you. You look like Will Graham, just hunched over, tired, because it's such an oppressive mood, but you never see much violence.
No, the only thing you really see is, towards the end, and even then it's not intensely violent, but it's still striking enough to be like, oh my, like, whoa, wait a second here. But you see nothing but the after effects. And I think that goes to your point of saying how it weighs on Will and it weighs on us as the audience, because when he walks into that bedroom and there's just blood everywhere, it's like, woof, bad happened here. And then we don't see it, but we hear it. Right, because he's walking through and he's going through the dossier, he's going through the files and reading what happened, and you're just sitting there like, oh my God, because now you're imagining, right? And the most terrifying thing is your imagination, is what you think you see or what you think, oh, this is what would have happened. And they play it off and do that so perfectly. And it's just it works across the board. It works. There's not a moment, there's not a scene where I'm like, that should have been done different. No, like it just across the board, it works.
I had my students coming into class today, and I made them watch that short video on Vimeo about like what it was like a pun. It was like Man Horizons or Man on Horizons, and it's just
they were all going, oh my gosh, like you could pause that and take a photo from it. And I know, listen, I'm kind of behind on everyone's been, no, people know this movie's great. Like they know it looks beautiful, and I'm so glad we're talking about it. But it felt so good showing it to my students because like, oh, you could just pause that and pull that grab and put it up on your wall. You don't hear that much about cinema. And to be fair, not every movie tries as hard to do this because they don't. Mann was trying to accomplish a very specific tone in this. I found some really great quotes from him, and he said, "It bores me to present the events of the story in a realist way. My approach instead is to conceptualize the elements of the plot, taking into consideration the various torments of the human spirit. My aim is to exteriorize the spiritual in the expressionist manner, and this always leads me to reject realism." And then he wrote, "What drew me to the story was its connection to the essence of evil, which emerges in the process of dehumanization that leads to a simple human being with no exceptional past to become a killer capable of the most terrible atrocities." So this is a guy who wanted to make something stylish. He wasn't about making something like Seven, or a grimy, gritty Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, I Saw the Devil. He wanted to make a movie that was more about the mood, right? More about the sort of expressionistic take,
The
like as a,
aesthetic, if you will.
exactly, as opposed to the realist on the ground Texas Chainsaw Massacre poking people with a stick dynamic. And I love that about it, man, because that's what makes this movie so unique. Yeah, you don't see many films like this where the violence isn't there, but you still feel it in your bones.
Yeah. And the nice thing is, too, it lets you sit with it, right?
Yeah.
When Will Graham's character is in the hotel and like 3/4 of the frame is the TV and then he's in that little guy in the corner, right? You're sitting with that and he's freaking out. He's like, you took your hands off. You did this. There's no music. It's him in that moment and you're with him. Nothing is telling you how to feel. Nothing is suggesting you how you should feel. Nothing. There's no tension. There's no like creeping, bass or rattle. It's just you and his voice and what he is seeing and him losing it. And you're with him in that moment. And then when they do bring in music, it just, again, it works. It accentuates things.
Gosh, yeah.
There's some of those when he is thinking about, he is having the dream on the plane. He's thinking about Molly and he's thinking about, the work he's doing, how it's this gorgeous, like almost Vangelis type, you know what I mean? It's just coming out. And then other things like when it goes to Will's theme, which is essentially interpolation, if you will, of Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. It just works. Anytime there's a music cue, doesn't accent what is going on the screen, but what you see on the screen, if that makes any sense. Like the music has nothing to do with the characters, everything to do with what you're seeing.
Absolutely. And just creating that mood, what you're seeing, building that's wonderful how you said it. It just aids greatly to what's going on, what you're watching. It's about creating that visual sensory experience. He's been doing it for years. I mean, Collateral, he wanted to always keep LA in the background, just to keep it as a character. And in Heat, just watching how skilled they are and like the beautiful city landscapes, the gunfight, it's just incredible. I'm not saying that he's going full Sam Raimi with a lot of Dutch angles and he's just taking you into the world like Mandy or Panos Cosmatos. I think that we've talked about Heat, I've talked about Heat, I've talked about Collateral, and now Manhunter. It's 3, not 4. I messed up earlier. But yeah, it's when you have that gunfight, he found a way to put mics on set, so when they shot the guns, they was that much louder to put you into that gunfight. With Collateral, LA's always a character. Hearing the gun nuzzle flashes, like how loud that is, like he just makes it feel so real. And so it's kind of like it's such a sensory experience with him. And I loved, a lot of people didn't like the digital camera work in Collateral, but I felt like that was able to keep the light, sort of make it feel more visceral, make it feel more real. And I just think Mann excels at that. And with this movie, between the score, the excellent usage of certain songs during certain scenes, and just watching also the body language of the characters. Like I feel like the body language of the characters almost screams at you. I mean, Peterson in this movie, when he's in the cell with Lecter for the first time, Brian Cox, his eyelids are half down. Like Will is just exhausted. He's just tired, and as he exists in this world, I don't know. I kind of like it. I like that they put him into this and it's dangerous and he probably shouldn't go back, but he has this drive and just watching him in that scene and how tired he is. And I don't know, I just adore this movie so much because like Mann said, he's not going for a super Henry Portrait of a Killer vibe, and it actually ends on a really positive note. I think he's just going for a mood, a vibe, a feel, and he totally accomplishes that.
And it's wild too because it's natural people in like an unnatural setting.
Yeah.
Right? Because when he sees Lecter, everything is pure white. Even Lecter dressed all in white. No dust, no dirt, nothing. That's not true. There's got to be something on that wall there somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? When he's in the bedroom with his wife and the whole room is just bathed in blue. That can't be right. You know, there's got to be something somewhere, but it's not. It's like these little pockets of perfection and comfort. But there's these people having real conversations with real consequences to them. And like you said, you know, Will Graham shows up with his eyes kind of half open because he's tired already. Like he's beat down. He just wants to do physical labor type stuff so he doesn't have to think. It just shuts his mind off completely. I'm going to fix this motor. I'm going to build a little cage for the turtles. He comes back in and kind of like he says, like, to get the scent back, if you will, like kind of have to bring that mindset back. And you kind of see a little bit in the beginning. You know, his eyes are half closed, but towards the end, they kind of open up a little bit more to being like, all right, I guess we're going to jump back into this world. And then in he goes.
And boy, does he jump back in. And you know what's interesting is Molly goes, I don't like this, but I would be selfish to tell you not to go. It's such a refreshing relationship between these two because, yes, would Molly Graham like her husband Will to be home? Absolutely. But does she know that a serial killer is out there murdering people and that he can stop this person? Yeah. It sucks, right? It's a catch-22, but you have adult like people act in very adult ways. And if you think about Heat, I keep going back to that, Collateral, people behave in very mature ways in Michael Mann films. And I don't know, you just don't see that much. I feel like any other movie would be like, you said you wouldn't go back. You're not going to go back. You know, you'll never go back. Well, I got to go back, you know, like, you know, just you would watch a guy like literally losing his mind. And instead, in the process of this, I think it just takes him into being more dark, more tired. And he knows he has to be alone to get into the mindset of these killers. It's a gnarly world, but watching him, you know, Michael Mann gave William Peterson a nice compliment because he said when he finally figures out that the film is being processed, you watch Peterson's face. The dawning realization is wonderful. If you and I were doing it, we'd be like, whoa, you know, like my acting would be horrifying. But the way that Peterson plays it, the way that Will has it, feels natural and it feels tired. And it's just, and once it happens, it's almost as exciting as like when Thanos is defeated, just watching him realize what's going on with the film. And I just love that aspect of it. This is such a mature film. And I do feel in a way that it's slightly cold. And I think it does lack like what Silence of the Lambs had, where you have people wildly chewing scenery. You have Anthony Hopkins just hamming it up with the mask. You have, Jodie Foster doing a great job. Buffalo Bill, brutal murders. I think the movie's wonderful. It won the big four for a reason: actor, actress, picture, and director. Mm-hmm. And I get it. And it's really rare for movies like that to do it, and it deserved it. But I like Manhunter more, but I do feel like it's more cold. I do feel like it's a movie that film buffs like you and I love. Yeah. Think pieces love. People who love symmetry love it. But it's not a movie that is going to tear up the masses with its, you know what I mean? And
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Because I think what it is too is it's realistic and it's natural, but it's not one of those like we did a gritty, we're in there real. No, because even though you have gritty and real, you still have some characters that are a little more, I just don't want to use the word hype, but a little more heightened in order to kind of pull you in and draw you in. With this film, everybody is just a person. Right? They're just, here's a guy doing his job and he's trying to figure it out. And rather than have some over the top eccentric kooky character like you did with Buffalo Bill, fantastic performance. Absolutely love that role and love that character as far as the film goes, not like what he represents and does and everything. But when we see Manhunter and we see Tom Noonan, he's just an average dude. You know, he's just he processing film. He's taking pictures. He's hanging out with veterinarians and tigers and stuff. And Tom Noonan gives a spectacular performance because he's quiet, he's meticulous, he's terrifying. Terrifying. When he says open your eyes and he's just there, pantyhose on his face and his hands, he's like, what's up? And it's like, what is happening? He just puts teeth in his mouth and then comes walking over. There's no song and dance, right? He's not telling a little kooky story and he's not doing voices. He's just like, look, man, you said these really mean things about me, and I'm going to show you why you're wrong. And it's almost like Philip Seymour Hoffman kind of in Mission Impossible 3. He's like, I'm going to hurt her. Like, I'm just going to hurt her. And like, it's just so refreshing to see that sometimes, to see a killer that's not like so over the top, or a villain that's so over the top that you kind of get drawn to that character. You're to an extent repulsed by this guy. And there was a time where if I saw Tom Noonan in a film, I'm like, I don't know. Even if he's playing like the nicest guy, like, you know, he's the lead, I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah. And this movie uses his height so well. And you know, during the filming of this, he didn't want to talk to anybody on set. So he had to be kept separate from William Peterson. So any flight, anything, he didn't want to interact with these people. And you had to call him Dollarhide when you saw him.
Okay.
He didn't want to get out of the mindset of this. And Michael Mann fully supported it, because Michael Mann's like, yeah, I'm crazy too. Let's do it.
Let's get manhandled.
Yeah. And just using his height, using that face. And, you know, he never does, you know, as much as I love Hannibal, the TV show, I think Hannibal, the TV show is one of the best film TV shows I've ever seen. Yes. And I love Richard Armitage and his Francis Dollarhide. That is one of my favorite TV performances, but justifiably, it's a completely different take on it. His is much more sort of over the top, theatrical.
Right, yeah.
It's much more physical, I would say his role is, because obviously he had more screen time. He had an entire season to do that. But this one, what Noonan creates is just this physical, imposing man who, you know what's even scarier about him? He'll just shoot you. Like, he just shoots you. It's quick. Like, you'll never see him torture. You never see him. I mean, he has obviously what he does, you know, he ties up good old Stephen Lang, Freddie Lowndes, but it's not, you don't get to see him. I mean, he kills the friend too that Joan Reba works with, but there's no torture or brutality or, you know, he's just a big, quick killer who has needs to kill, and a very nice house. But yeah, I just really like that take on it. But he fits in the world. I think a theatrical killer would not fit in this world. Even Brian Cox, you know, there is a very cheeky shot of him laying on his back, you know, with his feet up in his prison cell.
Out.
Yeah, just kicking it. And, you know, when you first meet him, they shot in the High Museum in Atlanta, which is absolutely beautiful. I've been there several times. Gorgeous place. And the way that they're shot between the bars, like, it took 2 days to get the framing right for that. Yeah. But in this thing, he's clearly relishing his role as Hannibal Lecter, but he's not, you know, he's not doing the Chianti, the fava beans. He's just he's kind of a shit kicker. He wants to, like, hey, can I get your home phone number? Like, he's just kind of a dickhead. Like, you know what I mean?
He knows he's the smartest man in the room.
Yeah.
And he's letting you know that by his presence. He is taking up space without taking up space. He's not chewing scenery and being theatrical. He is being present. And it's a presence that, you know, like, when you leave, you still feel his presence. And I think Will does throughout the film. He feels like Lecter is always on his shoulder in some way, shape, and form.
Oh, and you feel like we feel it as well. And I love too when he goes, "You're at a disadvantage. You're insane." Like, I love when he says that to him. He and I think he means it too. Like, that's your disadvantage. You're insane. But then Lecter knows that he's there for the scent.
Yeah.
And it's just game of chess that I think Will wants nothing to do with, but I think they both sort of enjoy it because they are sort of equals in their regards. And there's this kind of cool dynamic, like the yin and yang, I guess. One uses powers for good, one uses powers to eat people. And that's just what I dig about it. It's, you know, what's interesting about this movie too is there's not much room. There's really no room for metaphors or allegories, or it's shot in a very stylistic way. but it's very straightforward. I mean, you begin on the beach, you end on the beach. He catches the killer, he goes back home. He and Farina stand on a dock and sit on a dock, and it's one of the best shots I've seen in a long time. So there's not much like meat to chew on the bones of this movie, if that makes sense, because you don't have the Buffalo Bill character who is considered, quite troublesome. Right. You don't have just the 8 minutes of screen time of Hopkins winning the Oscar. You just get this really good, really neat expressionistic crime story that tidies itself up quite neatly at the end.
Yeah, very much so. And I think it's all just down to the performances. Like, it makes us believe, like, oh, it's done. Like, it's truly done. It's not one of those, like, nah, I could see in his eyes, he's got the itch. Like, no, he did what he came to do, and he's done. Like, Jack, I'm not doing this again. Like, I did this, and here we go, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about Anthony Hopkins only having so much screen time. We don't even see Tom Noonan until 55 minutes into the film. Mm-hmm. And even then, we just see his body. We don't see his face. He doesn't reveal himself until close to the hour mark. So then we're faced with, because you're thinking, like, what's this guy like? What's he going to look? And then you see it and you're like, oh, he's just a normal dude. Creepy, but he's just a normal dude. And I think that's more terrifying than anything else. It's just killers are just regular people, but they have a different mindset about them,
Oh, absolutely. And when he is first approached, the woman walking up to him is kind of twirling her hair in front of him. He's just this big presence. I think it's quite interesting how they deal with that. And he's able to be probably a total sociopath of just blending in with society while doing horrible, horrible things. And I don't know, man, just watching that performance, because I can't think of a performance that's this. Like, have you seen I Saw the Devil?
No, I haven't.
Well, like Choi Min-sik in that movie is, I think he should have gotten like an Oscar nomination. Maybe if this was the post-Parasite world and people enjoyed wildly brutal South Korean revenge serial killer films, he would. If it was that world, he would be nominated. But he definitely goes over the top a little bit. Like, he has some glee to him. There's no glee to this guy. He's I don't know. And also, but what about his scenes with Reba, Joan Allen, who's also really good in this movie? I mean, she's never not good. But it's just watching the two of them together, like just finding this kind of partner that they have. And at the end, when he betrays her, that hurts, because she doesn't have much screen time. But when she finds herself in the corner of this home, I don't think I've ever been more worried about a person, even though I've seen the variation of this movie several times.
Yeah. Oh, it's weird because, like you said, he betrays her when he comes to the door, or when she comes to the door because he's there and he says Francis is gone. I get a chill up my spine every time. I'm like, oh no, because leading up to that moment, their relationship there, if you were to take out the murder part, their relationship plays like a rom-com. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much a meet cute. And there's even the moment where, he sees something happen at a different angle. So he's like, oh, this is the thing that happened. But the audience knows, oh, no, this is what really happened. And he just misunderstood. And in typical rom-com fashion, the two would split both ways, and instead of talking it out, and then they meet at the end and everything's better again. And this time he goes to talk it out, but he's like, I saw what you did, and now you're going to face the consequences. There's no time to discuss. It goes from, hey, we're having fun, to, oh, he's going to kill her.
Yeah. Very
quickly.
And
not to cut you off, but like you said, with his height, that imposing height, the angle of which he's looking down at her when he says that Francis is gone and he walks towards her, it's like he's devouring her in that moment. Like, it's intense, man.
And just becoming the Red Dragon.
Yeah, just not eating paper though. He don't eat the paper. No. And he does eat the paper a little bit. But
not as much.
He didn't go Ray Fiennes on it.
Yeah, Ray. I mean, he ate a Notebook in that one.
He ate it.
What do you think about Red Dragon? I only really liked Red Dragon a lot because I was a big Ed Norton fan at the time. But I mean, it still has a wonderful cast. But I don't think it reaches the heights of this. It doesn't. I think it's fine. I think it's maybe one of Brett Ratner's better films. But I don't know. You can tell when there's an auteur and then there's someone who just has good actors and they make a decent movie. If that makes sense. But I think Manhunter, it's tough to compare them because they're so different.
Yeah.
But Manhunter, I feel like, is a piece of work, whereas Red Dragon's a pulpy good time. if that makes sense.
I would agree with that. When I first saw Silence of the Lambs, and I'd heard about, Hannibal and Red Dragon, I'm like, oh, I want to see these because I liked Anthony Hopkins' performance and I want to see more of that in the other films. So, seeing Red Dragon, it's truly an all-star cast.
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Anthony Hopkins, Edward Norton, so on and so forth. You have all of these people and you have these intense performances, but it doesn't feel real. It feels like you're watching a play. It feels like you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
Manhunter does not feel that way. Manhunter through and through feels like you're just on a journey with Will. You're with Will, you're with him trying to figure out what's going on. Who is doing this? How do we stop them? How do we catch them? Oh, we have to go to this guy and work with them. And there's so much that you can try to put together and figure out. And they let their voices tell you. As much as film is a visual medium, this one, the dialogue really lets you know what's going on. It's not one of those like you got to really listen to make sure. No, but they tell you, and it's just the way it's delivered, the way they say it. It's just it just feels, again, it feels natural. It feels like you're with them, not watching them.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Because even as you're watching them, you feel like you're in the room with them. It's a weird kind of voyeur type vibe that he has set up. But I also like too that it's implied violence, and we're just watching them watch violence, and I love that so much about it. And I don't care. I'm just gonna say it again. This movie's so good.
It is really good.
I love the emphasis on William Blake too. I mean, I love his art. I love the fact that like with the demonic red dragon and his other pieces of work, and that he pitched this to his DP where Michael Mann was talking to Dante Spinozzi, and he said, I want you to look at a picture of this house. It was just a house with one lamp out front. So it was practically lit, moonlight, and the moon's hitting it, and then the street lights hitting it. And it's just an alone house. That's the one picture that Michael Mann showed Dante while making this movie. It's crazy. Like he's like just showed him one picture, and this is what I want.
Yeah.
I love that about it.
But it works. Like he got his point across. Like, this is what I'm trying to get. And the guy's like, got it.
And I think that's so Michael Mann too, right? I don't think he messes around. I don't think that he can get information across to you very quickly. And you got to absorb it just as quick. And I think that's why he loved Tom Noonan. Did you hear about his audition? How he got the role of Dollarhide?
No.
So he went in to get it. And he's like, oh man, okay, I'll go sit in there. And he showed up he had an appointment at 10. He had to sit in there and wait for an hour and a half. And they brought him in, and he was really mad. He's like, listen, I'm just going to read for you and I'm going to leave. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk at all. So then he was really pissed off. Then he has a meeting with Michael Mann, the audition, and the person he was doing it opposite a woman who was in the room, and he freaked her out. Like she really started to get frightened of me. And then when he was talking about it, he was like, I could feel that he was really into what I was doing. And I thought, I got this job. Then I finished, and he started talking to me, and I said, I told you, I'm reading and I'm leaving now. And I just walked out. He just walked out. And you don't do that. Michael Mann fired about 60 people on the crew, like, of this movie. He just gets rid of people. Like, Collateral had 2 DPs. Like, if you aren't online with Michael Mann, you're gone. And Michael actually called him up and was like, we need to talk. And he's like, no, I'm done. So eventually they talked, and Michael was like, hey, you're really scary. How do you do that? And Noonan said, the secret to being scary is to be really scared. Because when you're really scared, people are really scared of you. And Mann went, you got the job. Just like that. He just walked out on him. That's walked out on Michael Mann because he was just like, screw this. I've been here for an hour and a half. This is stupid. Like, why are you doing this to me? I'm not going to talk. And then he lived. Like, I think if he said, I'm going to do this and leave, and then he did it and didn't leave, Michael Mann probably wouldn't have the respect for him. But instead, he's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave. And then he left. And I think, that's what he's into. Like, I think Michael Mann likes that. I think that's why he loved Tom Cruise, because he's like, Tom, I'm going to send you to train with, all these military people. Jamie Foxx, you have to drive until it doesn't look like you're driving anymore because you know exactly what you're doing. And they all did it. They all go on board with him. I think he wants people who are tough, who are driven, who have like a firm resolve, because like they said there were probably 60 or 70 people on the crew, and there was a turnover of like 80 jobs on the movie.
Sheesh.
Yeah. He gets rid of people. It's kind of crazy. You know, they shot in North Carolina, they shot in Florida, they shot in Georgia in the 80s. And, you know, Georgia had a big, they had Smokey and the Bandit, several movies shot in Georgia, North Carolina, and they had the De Laurentiis studios in North Carolina. They were shooting movies in Florida, but it wasn't nearly what LA and New York are. And so I think Mann was a little frustrated with the crews, and a lot of people got dropped because of it, and also the long hours. So I just think it's kind of cool, man, that he got the job by walking out of the interview. And he didn't, like, he's like, you don't do that to him. He's like, what I learned is you don't do that to him. But that makes me happy. And also too, for the plane scene, they didn't want to build a fake plane, and they couldn't get permission to shoot on a real plane. So Mann, he booked the crew for a 4 p.m. flight from Chicago to Orlando, and in mid-flight they assembled, loaded their cameras, and shot the scene. Like, the stewardess got annoyed, but Mann's like, I don't know, I'll just book my crew for the plane. Yeah. So they booked a plane, and then they shot that scene on a plane. No permits, no nothing. They just shot it on a plane because Michael Mann's like, we're going to shoot it. I don't care. This is how I'm doing it.
Michael Mann seems like the kind of director. He's like, you know what? Let's do a movie about a guy that designs an atomic bomb, and we're going to really blow up an atomic bomb. We're not going to do CGI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, listen, like, find me an atoll somewhere, scarcely populated, at least under 3,000 people, and let's blow it up. Like, that's what he would do. And also, too, he says that he loves to have scenes where professionals working under stressful situations. So if you think about it, I mean, think about the stressful situations in Collateral, Insider, even all, like, yeah, Thief, exactly. And so one of my favorite scenes in this movie is the boardroom scene, or just the kind of meeting with all the various characters, Chris Elliott of all people.
Yeah, but right. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, he is in this.
Yeah, but you know what I love? They're super competent people talking in super competent ways, but they're all stressed because they got to get this done. But just listening to, I've been saying this a lot on the podcast, so I apologize if you listen to this and you listen to every episode and you hear this, but I'm telling you, there's just something nice about capable people being capable in a room in movies, because you don't see that much. And I just love that. Like, no, I'm not going to talk about that. But it's just, well, like a lot of Marvel movies, right? Everyone's quipping. You rarely get a scene in a Marvel movie where they're just all incredibly capable. Mm-hmm. It's just, they get it, boom, bang, boom, they're done. Like, I like that. I like this scene. I like the talking. I love how they build that, and just the way that he's able to make a boardroom or like just an office scene exciting and thrilling. I dig, and I just love that. I just wrote here, capable people. It makes me happy.
It's funny you bring up that particular scene. There's a moment in that scene that I really, really like. It's when Crawford gets up and goes to the phone, and while he's punching or whatever, the camera just cuts back really quick, and Jack talks to another guy, and he asks him a really just one-off question. Hey, something else, and the guy answers back, and then they go back to the call. I feel like in any other kind of film, they're going to hang on that person and the call while they're doing that. But to take a step back and to say, like, hey, while he's doing that, let's still try to figure this out. Like you said, capable people. Like, they're following through with what someone would typically do in a boardroom setting like that. They're like, oh, he's setting that up. But then, and you continue on and go something like that. And it always sticks out to me, and I'm always just like, yeah, that's a good moment. And you wouldn't think of all the moments happening in the film, that's one of my favorites. And I think it's because of that reason. It's like you said, it's capable people being capable and doing capable things.
And just the way the dialogue flows, the way they're able to handle that. And, I even get a certain vibe during Heat, all of Pacino's team. You just see them together and the way they interact so naturally. It feels, for lack of a better term, and I'm saying it again, natural. Just the way that they are able to work with each other. And that must be the command that Michael Mann has, because you have all these tough guy grown adults just all sort of gelling to become this team because they understand who they're working for. And I just dig that so much about him. It makes me very happy. And also, too, I got to say, how sweet is that Will Graham tackle of that guy?
Right on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
Just
they're like,
bam.
Oh no, it was Lang, but then he tackles that other guy who's jogging.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The guy robs me, and you move your feet.
Yeah, you going in slow motion.
Oh man, he's just throwing people on top of cars. He's tackling people. But that scene though, it's highlighted by green and blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an accident. Like later in the movie, when you have the green, when you have the blue, like it's a cool
His
color
shirt,
scheme.
his tie,
Yep.
and the bullets, the little fakes with the blue on the capsule.
Absolutely. He keeps this primary color type vibe. But I think that's what makes the blood so visceral in this movie, the fire so visceral. He just knows when to use it. As much as I love French extreme horror, the blood's everywhere, and you kind of get a little tired of it towards the end.
Yeah.
You get used to it. You don't get used to it in this movie. And Michael Mann, he spread the blood underneath Noonan for the angel type wings for this. So I think that's another cool fact. Like Michael Mann is just so involved with everything here. It just makes me happy.
In my spare time, I like making blood angels, so I really want to express that and put it onto film.
Oh, man, like a farmer's market. They're like, buy your Michael Mann blood angel. Like he's just there blood angeling on canvas. Oh yeah, 2000.
Look, if you buy it today, we'll get it shipped to your house before Christmas.
And how do you feel about just the wide shots? So like when we go into Noonan's house with the TV that's flickering on and off, and then you have Stephen Lang with the his eyes are covered and the kind of planet Mars in the background or the moon, and just looking up. It has this odd, there's green coming in through the windows. You get the green, the red. There's a lack of white in this scene. Like, well, what do you think about the wide shots in this movie and the way they kind of express like the static wide shots? Like, what do you think about those?
I think they're all gorgeous.
Yeah,
they're stunning, and it just like it stops you. You're feeling something, and then you see that, and you stop immediately, and then you're in that moment with those characters and feeling what they're feeling. Like when we cut to Jack and Molly, you know what I mean? Like Will, he's out with his kid doing the turtle thing. Boom, cut to Jack and Molly having a very serious conversation. You got this gorgeous sunrise coming down, or gorgeous sunset coming down. When we see the two laying in bed and it's like completely blue. When we see Dollarhide and he does his little his little hands and it's just like it's staggering. It grabs you and it holds you and it's just like I'm here, man. Like I'm not going anywhere. Even when they introduce something, when they open up the door and they turn on the light and we see the bedroom for the first time and blood is just everywhere.
Oh,
like it's. You're slack jawed. You just stop. You're like, there's no way. Like, oh my goodness.
And don't you? I know I'm moving on, but don't you feel bad for Will Graham every time he enters a house by himself to reenact a murder? Like,
I
don't
do.
you? Right?
Because it's like you should have a buddy.
Yeah.
Like there should be somebody there, like to kind of keep you grounded and to make sure that you're not going like full Looney Tune, and to like. Just I don't know, some kind of positive. Like he couldn't have me though, because I'd be making jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I'd be too goofy.
You'd be the wisecracking partner.
I would.
We both would
with a cigarette.
We should make a movie where it's just two cops.
I was just about to say that.
And we're both the wisecracking ones. Like we're just nothing we do is genuine. It's like, oh yeah, he just fell. Looked like he took a fall. Oh, like what? See you next. Wait, what is it like? Have a nice fall. See you next spring.
Trip.
Yeah, have a nice trip. See you next fall. Blam blam. How many bullets you got left? Enough. It's just
Anytime they talk to a character, what can it be for?
We sit down to interrogate a guy and we just smoke cigarettes for like 3 hours.
Flicking butts in their face every time.
And we just get chatting about stupid stuff. And the guy's like, I give
up. Yeah, that's right. Only 3 hours.
Mark and Nick got another one.
That's what we do.
Dun, 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 dun. It's just matching suits. Just, here come the Joker. We're kind of like the Andes then from Hot Fuzz, but in America.
Yeah.
And more capable.
Yeah. Way more capable.
Everyone hates us, but our closing rate is exceptional.
Yeah. So they we're the ones that get coffee. Coffee's for closers. And
no one steals ours.
No one. They're afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid to even attempt it.
It turns out that we're not like being there, our jobs. We're actually brilliant, but we pretend to be dumb. So we've been like, for 30 years, we've just pretended to be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we both got hired when we were 10. But it's you maybe when you were 5. You went through the academy quick, Nick. But it's
Hey, man. What are you gonna do?
toddler cops on the like we're both on bicycles. We're coming, Sarge. We put the little we gotta move from San Francisco going uphill. Have the light on our bicycles. Just can you guys even work? Like, what's the taxes for children?
Give me a second. I got my helmet's loose. I gotta tighten it really quick.
Oh, but they caught them just as they were running out. They run over your bike.
My bike.
You and I are like, oh, man, we hope this guy's downhill. Oof. And we're just flying down the San Francisco streets on our BMX bikes like an airborne.
Look at those land jet skis.
Imagine those two characters in this movie.
Wow.
Oh man. Oh god. And then just Dollarhide. I know this like the like kissing scene with Dollarhide, and then the guy's lit on fire. That's one of the most brutal visuals you can think of. And just man, the National Tatler gets pretty lit up their parking garage.
Yeah, it does. And the muffled screams too.
Oh gosh.
Like it's not overly done for dramatic effect. It's enough to where you're just like, oh, like you kind of recoil a little bit, like, oh, I don't want this.
Oh man. He turns around. I want that role. I would retire as being the extra who sees that wheelchair rolling down the parking garage structure. Oh my gosh. But no, I mean, also too, I mean, this is a movie where you just like the good guys too. I know that one guy's like, oh, you got cut up bad, but is there a movie where all the good people are pretty chill? Like you like Farina. He's not a jerk. You like Will. You like, like even Chilton's not terrible in this one. You like the cops.
No, he's pretty even keel.
Yeah. And normally Chilton's like, aha. Well, Hannibal, I guess.
Smarmy.
And it's because the movie doesn't have time for that.
No,
it doesn't need that. It just it doesn't want to take your attention away from the mood or like a terrible, like if William Atherton was in this movie, it would be a much less enjoyable experience as like a jerk cop running around. But yeah, or Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin. But I like the lack of that character because these characters in this movie, they're very subdued, excellent performances, but I think they're just there to sort of service the mood, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no one's playing off of each other. Yeah. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows their position and what they're supposed to be doing.
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
They're there because they're supposed to be there. They're not there by chance or by, oh, how did I find myself in this situation? No. I'm here to do a job. That's why I'm here. I'm here to do this. That's why I'm here. It's purposeful. There's a reason for every little thing. And like you said, there's no time for it. And it keeps the film lean. It's a 2-hour runtime. Does not feel like 2 hours.
No.
I'm always shocked. I'm like, oh, we're at this part already? Okay. And then it keeps going. But it doesn't feel rushed. That's the thing. It doesn't feel like here we go. It's like, no, this is a natural progression of things. Now, there are some things that are heightened when they're trying to look at the toilet paper and for the notes and stuff. And that gets a little sweaty, like how much time we got. And they're keeping it like that. But for the most part, it just goes at such a natural kind of pace.
And I love that line, too, when they're looking at they're trying to look for markings on the notes, and the guy's like, the guy doesn't understand how good I am. Like I love that. There's some bravado there, but it fits because these characters are just so capable. I mean, these are the best people on the job going after the best a very dangerous serial killer.
Yeah.
What a movie. And just the blue lighting. I don't know. They love their blue in that house. The Grahams.
They really do. And tigers. Don't forget about the tiger.
Oh, the tiger scene. They had to knock that thing out. That was a real tiger. They built a net around it. And then there's one time when its tail moved and everyone just ran out of the set.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
And how do you feel about... Oh, sorry, go for it.
I'm saying I wouldn't be hanging out.
No, get out of there. I bet you Michael Mann was like, wimps.
I'll manhandle this. Michael, we get it. It's your last name. I understand.
You're so manly of two ends. But it's... Man.
So much man only. I couldn't even be contained by one end.
Yeah, one end is man, but two ends is man.
Ooh. I like it. Man.
I guess he did. He was really hard on Joan Allen on this movie, which is kind of a bummer. But I mean, she did work with him again later on, so she couldn't have hated him too much. But yeah, Tom Noonan said he kind of made her cry a little bit during this role. But I mean, that's a lot on her, though. You have to be a blind character.
Yeah.
You have to be dealing with the serial killer. It's kind of a nothing role, but she's very memorable. I think she does a great job. I mean, just the fear on her. And then, the wide shots really do come in handy when she finds the corner is just stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a helpless feeling, but she never you know what I like about her is she never, there's no like, hey, watch how, a lesser movie would like, what am I trying to say? This is just a wildly capable woman.
Yeah.
But it never peacocks and shows that. But I think another movie would focus on that more. Like just automatically, because I can't think of better words for this. I just like how there's never a question about her just being really good at what she does because she fits right in with the movie.
Mm-hmm. And she's a capable person. She's confident. She knows what she wants because she just goes for it. She wants Francis. Boom. She's getting him. She's doing this job. Boom. She's getting it. Put your back up to whatever. Take a couple steps. Do this. Do that. Like it's precision with her. She knows. She knows what she wants. She's not going to dilly-daddle. It's much like everything else in this film. We're not going to waste our time with all the dumb stuff. Let's give you what's important. Let's give you what matters. If they try to do this again, I think they would purposefully stretch it out to be like, 2 hours, 45 minutes. They would waste a lot of time with these characters to get you to feel really invested. So when something happens, you feel even more. I don't think it's a perfect film, but it is very close to being a perfect film.
What is it that doesn't make it? I mean, you know what's interesting when we talk about perfect films, where I don't know, people are gonna get so annoyed because I talk about this or whatever. But I think there's been one basketball game where someone scored over 100 points in the NBA, one game, and so I would say there's one perfect game in the entirety of the NBA.
Yeah.
So what perfect films are so rare.
Yeah.
Where am I going with this? I guess it was more.
If you had to throw out, like right now, in your mind, what's a perfect film? Like just name a film. It doesn't have to. Just name a perfect film. Or
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strangelove.
Good choice. My immediate one, the first film I think of is Casablanca.
Yeah.
Like a film that is just perfect.
And there's so few of them.
Yeah.
And I think, but like what about this kind of keeps Manhunter? Do you think? I don't think this movie had the ambition to be perfect.
Yeah.
It wants to be expressionistic and moody, right? Is that?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it nails exactly what it's trying to be, but also because of that, it's never going to be spoken of with the upper echelon of movies.
Right. Because people are going to immediately go to Silence of the Lambs. Deservedly so.
Yeah.
But I think this deserves to have as much conversation as Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
Like head to head, toe to toe. Because the only overlap is Lecter. That's the only overlap. They're two completely different stories, two completely different. I mean, one comes before the other chronologically, but they're two separate things. So they can both be fantastic Lecter stories, but they're not the same thing. You know,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Totally different. I know they just both want to be Hannibal Rising, but it's, they can't really achieve that. But, I also love the grocery store part because when his kid is asking him those questions, I love that how open Will is. What Kevin, I guess. Will is just going, okay, this is what happened. This happened to me. Oh, they're actually talking about Folgers right now, about the coffee. So, hey, we called it.
Hey, look at that.
Oh,
Coffee's the through line in this. There's something about it.
But
Coffee Hunter? Man coffee? Ew.
Oh, man coffee. Here I am, man coffee. I'll wake
Man
you
coffee
up.
sounds disgusting. Let me get some of that man coffee.
Put me in a filter, spill me on the floor, and I'm going to be terrible to clean up. But man-sized. We're all tired. Quick, put Mark in a vat of water. But yeah, I kind of love that he's so honest with him, and he kind of tells him what happened. It's a kind of an odd scene where a dad actually tells the kid a certain amount of what happened. I don't care. This is the very super positive episode of Manhunter. But yeah, I just think super duper positive coffee episode of movies, films, and flicks. But I guess there's just more
positive, coffee positive.
Are you happy that they don't have, a lot of the marketing of this movie shows Dollarhide with the tattoos, but man saw it and immediately went, yeah, we're not going to do that. I don't think in this movie, they're not needed.
I don't think at all they're needed. I think if you did that, that's when it gets to that. Now we're heightened. Now we're maybe chewing scenery, and it gets away from that natural and that realism.
Yeah, yeah. If I had to choose scenery, though, it'd definitely be in a Willy Wonka movie.
Oh my God, yeah. Like I wouldn't stop. Every time I see that movie, I'm like, I would just lay down on the grass and just eat and roll around and eat and roll around and eat. I'd be making little grass angels and just grabbing the clippings and eating them too. I wouldn't go digging in the chocolate river though. I'm not that piggish.
That cop is eating the chocolate again. There wasn't a robbery here last night. Leave us alone.
No, we didn't find some more.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's really good. Is it buttercream? Oh,
I need to question all the Oompa Loompas. Bring me some Boston creams.
and some peanut butter.
Yeah, where's that cherry soda? Yeah.
Cherry soda.
You got marshmallows, graham crackers? Let's go. But dun 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 dun. Oh, but how about we do this? There's more of the movie we can talk about, but I would love to do something with you, and I'm putting you on the spot here.
Put me on.
Well, let's do a fun draft. Let's do a matchup. You can go to Movies House of Flicks Facebook or Twitter, and you can vote on this. But let's do a draft of let's each pick 5 movies. I'll let you go first, and I'll go. Of movies that feature shots that just dropped our jaws. Does that make sense? Like you see the movie and you just go, wow. Like you're just frozen in place because of the beautiful shots. Like you just go, how did that happen? That's gorgeous.
The first one that comes to my mind, and I think it's because I rewatched it recently, Everything Everywhere All at Once. When it cuts to and they're just 2 little rocks on the mountainside looking at it, everything, I can remember being in the theater and it got so quiet in there you could hear a pin drop. And when they started having that conversation, tears rolling from my eyes. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is it. Like this is the pinnacle.
Oh wow. Oh, a beautiful movie. Great pick.
Gorgeous.
My pick, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It was just number 30 in Sight and Sound's greatest films ever list. The framing of it is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to say that Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Okay. What's your next shot that blew your mind?
Next shot that blew my mind. It would have to be 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
When particularly, and spoiler territory, when Dave is going through the memory banks of Hal. And it's just that stark red, and he's in the red suit, and it's just you see the lights on his face. You know what I mean? Flashing, just that moment right there. It's just like, oh my God, like this is chills thinking about it right now.
I'm gonna go with Truman Show.
Ooh.
When he hits the wall and starts walking up the steps.
And when we start crying.
Yeah. I mean, what a shot. I've never been more immersed in a cinema. And this is actually during our we talked about both these movies in our Meteor episode, coming to Earth and picking movies to watch. So I love that we're back on these.
Look at that.
Yeah. All right. So
nice.
what's your second film?
Ooh, second.
Or third film.
Ooh, third film. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little hokey and a little over the top, but there's something special to be said about Avengers Endgame when you have everyone and their mother on the screen coming at each other. Now, I'm sure logistically not everybody was there at once and some stuff was, but just to look at everything, like this is true. This is everything that the films in the universe have done so far. It is just massive. And it's like, wow, like look where we started with Robert Downey Jr. in a cave, literally, Tony Stark in a cave with scraps, and now we're like the world of the universe is right there.
Oh, great shot. It hits. You feel it. I mean, what? Yeah.
Love staggering. Like,
Right. I'm going to take Prisoners because it's Deacon shot, Denis Villeneuve. Watching Prisoners with, Deacon cinematography, there's a shot at night at a gas station where it's all practically lit. And I always, when I teach camera and lighting, I always show it to my students. I don't care if it's cliche, but I absolutely adore that shot. So I'm going to take Prisoners.
Nice.
Going with that. You got to get some deeks in there.
Yeah, you gotta throw the Deke in there.
Yeah.
Slip him some Deke.
Dun 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 dun.
Deke. There's a shot in. Is my turn? I don't want to.
Yeah, you got it.
Towards the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when she is strapped to the chair, and they cut to her eye. Just her eye and how it's moving and the fear just from an eye Part of the eyebrow, no rest of the face, just the eye. And you can feel the tension in the room. You can feel her fear. You can feel like, oh, these are her last moments, and we're here to see that.
Yeah.
That just intensity right there. It just, it gets me.
And at the end when she's screaming too.
Just in that truck, just losing it.
That movie's art.
Losing it.
This one
really is.
This one's gonna be a bit stock, but I'm gonna take The Searchers because I learned about this in films when I was in undergrad and I had a film class. And I'm big on through the door, like door shots to create distance. Like I love that style of shot. But just watching John Wayne walk away while through the door frame, gorgeous shot. So I want to take The Searchers. That floored me because I started thinking about shots then. I started kind of considering what that framing meant. And that was kind of college was the first time that I was really considering that stuff. So I'm going to take that one.
Oh, this is our fourth or our fifth now?
You're on your fifth pick. You have Everything Everywhere All at Once, 2001, Avengers Endgame, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh. This is another more frequent or recent one. Because these are ones you just coming into my mind immediately. Yeah.
Well, there's a million of them. Not a million. There's thousands of them.
But truly, there's so many of them out there. The Dark Knight Rises, when Batman and Bane are fighting, and we're at the over the shoulder for Batman, and we see Bane just coming up, like approaching Batman. It's one of those like, oh my goodness, like here he comes. It's fear. I think it's one of the first times in a long time that we feel fear for Batman. Like he's done. He's not, because any other time you watch a Batman movie, you're like, oh man, it sucks he's in this situation, but I know he's going to get out of it. With this one, it's like, I don't know. I really don't know, because he's just coming down that walkway and it cuts to like this IMAX. It's just, it's so good. It's such a good moment.
I mean, Wally Feister shot that. So, I mean, that guy is solid DP right there. Got to give that dude props.
You got to throw Feist in the DP.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Thirst, the 2009 Park Chan-wook film. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. And there's a scene where the priest picks up Kim O-bin and just jumps with her in the air, and you just see this look on her face of joy, absolute joy.
Nice.
And it's such a dark, horrifying movie, and that uses white just as good as Manhunter, the color white, just to make you, it's white in cinema can feel very oppressive. People tend to feel like it's open, but if you look at a lot of these movies with Dollarhide, when he leans his head against the wall, that white wall, when you have, Lecter's all white cell, they use that color very oppressively. And I sort of love that about it. But I'm going to take Thirst because it's one of the best looking horror films I think I've ever seen. So you have Everything Ever All at Once, 2001, Avengers Endgame, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Dark Knight Rises. I have Portrait of a Lady on Fire, The Truman Show, Prisoners, Searchers, and Thirst.
There's some really good picks.
Yeah.
Like,
they're great.
Really ran the gambit there.
I think the only reason for this poll is just to show people movies we love. Like, that's what I do. Like, so someone sees this poll and goes, oh, I guess I'll look into that movie. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. But
it's also films you wouldn't think about either. It's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have put that with that.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire, man. What a movie. What a movie. Gorgeous. Change your life. Put hair in your chest.
Coffee in your lungs.
Now, before we get out of here, if you're scoping out a house, what kind of candy bar are you eating?
Ooh, like from the tree? Like I'm hanging out in a tree and I'm eating a candy bar?
Yeah.
I'm on a really big Reese's Fast Break kick right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really big into those.
You got the nuts in there. I'm going to do peanut M&Ms because I have a better chance of spacing those out.
Ooh, that's a really good point.
A Fast Break I would eat in 6 seconds.
Yeah, probably just crush it. And then you're like, damn.
Yeah, peanut M&Ms, I'll at least try.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do peanut M&Ms.
That's a good one. I love to. I had peanut M&Ms today.
Oh, that was just so good. I brought some to Avatar. I bought some for Avatar when I went to go see it, The Way of Water. I'm like, I need to mix out my snacks. And I brought some Mentos too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fresh
so I could have something to do while watching the movie. Instead of watching the movie. But hey, where can people find you, Nick, before we get out of here?
They can find me on Twitter at the Rehak, TheRehak, and sticking with Stephen Lang, I recently watched Shadow Conspiracy and talked about it on the Exploding Helicopter podcast, and Stephen Lang is in that movie.
Will Slater's doing great work, isn't he?
Some might say it's the Lord's work.
I love the post
So-
like that. Like I have the 699th movie to feature well, sometimes I see movies and I want to message him, but I'm like, he's already seen it. But no, I love it, man. And that's such a great idea. He's doing great work. And you guys have a good pairing too, man.
I always have fun when I go on his show.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, he really throws some curveballs at me, but I always have a good time.
I think you knock him out the park, man.
Thank you.
Or you hit them up in the air and they bounce back on your head like in Rookie of the Year.
And everybody gets a good laugh.
Yeah.
It's a good bonk.
Yeah.
And we both love a good bonk.
We love a good bonk. I love a good cinematic bonk. But yeah, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. This was lovely, man. Thank you.
Of course, man. Anytime.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Nick Rehack, this is Movie Sales of Flicks. We'll see you next week.